Welcome to my Firstory review. In this Firstory review, I'll be sharing with you practically everything you need to know about Firstory as a podcast tool out there. You get to know absolutely everything you need to know about this podcast tool. You get to know whether Firstory is actually a great podcast tool or whether it's just another one that you need to avoid completely. You get to know all of that in this Firstory review, all based on my personal experience using Firstory for my personal podcast business. So basically in this Firstory review, I'll be sharing with you practically everything you need to know about Firstory as for you to know whether this is a great podcast tool or whether it's just another one I need to avoid completely. You get to know here. So let's go. So in this Firstory review, I'm talking about what Firstory is all about, what they've got in stock for you, and what you are most likely to benefit from using Firstory. You get to see who can actually use Firstory. You also get to see what they've got in stock for you. Like I said, I'm going to talk about a lot of things in the course of this Firstory review. I'll also be talking about the pros and the cons of using Firstory. You get to see the interesting side and as well as the bad side of using Firstory, because for everything that has a good side, if you observe very carefully, there's always a bad side to it as well, which I'm going to share with you in the course of this Firstory review. So I also be talking about the pricing plans, and they've got different plans, and each of their plans they've got their own peculiarities, they've got their own significance. So I'm talking about this as well, as they've got different pricing plans across different of course they've got different plans. So basically it's very important for you to ensure that you keep to the end of this video, because this is a very important part. So it's very important for you to ensure that you keep to the end of this video, so you miss the most important information you need to have about Firstory in this Firstory review. I'll also be talking about what other active users of Firstory, what they are currently saying about it. You get to hear from other active users of this podcast too. You get to hear from them as to what they personally feel about Firstory. You get to hear from them as to their own experience of Firstory. It does not necessarily have to be what I say alone. You have the opportunity to hear from other people who are currently using the podcast tool and hear from them as to what they feel about it. And on the final part, which is the most important part of this Firstory review, this is exactly what I'll be sharing with you what I personally feel about Firstory based on my own personal encounter with it. This is exactly where you get to know whether Firstory is actually a great one to use or whether it's just another one that you need to run away from. You get to know. So it's very important for you to ensure that you keep to the end of this Firstory review, so you miss the most important information that you need to have about Firstory. So let's go. So what is Firstory? Firstory is actually a podcast tool that allows you to create your podcast, that allows you to scale it, that allows you to promote your podcast, and that also allows you to get the best out of your podcast. So if you are a podcaster, this is a kind of tool that can actually help you create a great content environment. And also you can see what we have on their own page. They said an all-in-one podcast platform with monetization solutions. Instantly get all your audio on all podcast platforms, scale your podcast, gain paying subscribers, and you'll be able to monetize exclusive content on Spotify. So basically it's a podcast tool that allows you to create and promote your content, so you'll be able to get the best out of your effort. So basically if you run any kind of podcast business, this is a kind of tool that can actually help you scale it, so you'll be able to get the best out of your effort. You'll be able to make more money from it, and you'll be able to get maximum publicity and reach, so you can have your content all over the places you want it. So basically that's it on that. So let's go. So what are the interesting side of using Firstory? The first thing I have here is the fact that Firstory allows you to scale your podcast easily. For example, they've got an automatic podcast website. Once you are with them, automatically you have an automatic podcast website that can be shared, so people can have access to you whenever they need to. So it allows you to scale your podcast easily. You'll be able to get your podcast to as many ears as possible out there. So, and as a result of that, you'll be able to get more impact, more publicity, and which will lead to more revenue if you are monetizing your content. And interestingly, with our Firstory, it also allows you to automatically distribute your podcast to all major platforms with just one click, whether it's Spotify, just name it. You'll be able to, within a single click, you can easily distribute your content to all major platforms with just a single click. That is, name it, whether it's Spotify, whatever platform, to all the major platforms out there. You'll be able to distribute them almost immediately with just a single click. And interestingly, with Firstory, you are not capped, as you have access to unlimited storage and bandwidth, because there are so many podcast platforms out there where you are so limited, you are capped. But with Firstory, you are not capped. You have access to unlimited storage and also bandwidth. You can download you can upload as much as possible, and you can also accommodate as much traffic as possible. And interestingly, with Firstory, another interesting thing I like about it is the fact that they've got a wide range of royalty-free music that you can use to furnish your podcast. Or that is, you can, you have a lot of files, music within your disposal that you can actually use to make your content more interesting. Even you can as well get a voicemail from your audience, and you can also put in that in your podcast so as to make it more interesting. And also with Firstory, they've also got a great analytics which you can use to measure your effort and your growth, so you can always make informed decisions. You get to see you get to see an analytical view of what is happening across your content, so you'll be able to see what you need to continue to do and what you need to stop doing, so you'll be able to make informed decisions. And also, they've also got a great customer support. One thing I keep saying is this: I'll never use any tool that does not offer great customer support, because any new tool you are introduced to, there's a tendency that you may experience one or two issues, or you may have one or two problems in the course of using it as a newbie. And if the customer support is not there to help you out, then in that case it's not worth it. But as in the case of Firstory, they've got a great customer support across all their communication channels. They are always willing to help you and help you solve your problem when the need arises. And interestingly, with Spotify, with Firstory, you can easily manage your audience comments across multiple platforms. So you can easily gather feedbacks and you'll be able to interact with your listeners, get their opinion, get their views, get what they want, and you'll be able to improve your content and grow your podcast by knowing and also connecting with your audience. They've got a cross-platform comment feature where you can be able to, get comments, then engage those comments across different platforms where they are coming from. So you'll be able to get feedbacks from your audience, and you'll be able to make informed decisions with that as well, making it very, very interesting for me. Someone said, what cannot be measured cannot be grown, but if you can measure this you'll be able to grow your podcast and make it better. Now let's go to the bad side. To be very, very honest, I've not really found a bad side to Firstory. All I can say is the fact that it can be better, they can make it more better. Maybe the pricing can be a little, maybe the pricing as well, but when it comes to the quality of the service, it's great. It's great, but anything that is good can actually be better. That's all I can say about that. So let's go to the pricing plan. They've got different pricing plans across different packages, but the barest minimum I've seen so far, they've got the Pro plan, they've got the Enterprise plan, but the barest minimum I've seen so far, that's for the Pro plan, which goes for around $15 per month. This is the barest minimum you can find on Firstory as at the time of making this review. So, and each of these plans comes with different capabilities as to what they can handle, as to their strength, as to what they can do, as to their capacity. That's why it's very, very important for you to see the one that will be most suitable for you, or the one that will suit your own size, your own business size the best. That's why it's very, very important for you to click right on the link in this video description now. Then you'll be able to see the full pricing for the various packages they've got and the offers and discount that comes with each of them. Like I said, this is the barest minimum so far that I've seen is around $15 per month, and each of the plans comes with different capabilities as to what they can do, as to what they can handle, as to their capacity, as to the length at which they can go. That's why it's very, very important for you to click on the link right in this video description, and you'll be able to see the full pricing for all their packages, the offers, the discount that comes with each of them, most importantly their capabilities. Now let's get to hear from other users of Firstory. This is a user. This person said it's one of the best podcast management and analytics tool. When it was asked what he likes best, he said in this tool you can upload as many files as you want. There is no restriction. You can get the right tips to create a great audience. You can also generate an embedded tags and SEO enabled website to drive more engagement. When he was asked what he disliked, he said yes, you can respond to comments and work on the analytics. He said but there is no integration available, so I'm not able to export the comment and data to my primary software. So basically on this they have some other integrations, but integrations with this person's SaaS, with this person's maybe content management system or email tool is not currently available at the moment, but they've got other integrations as well. So this person said it's one of the best podcast management and analytics tool. I said it's been able to allow him or her to upload so many things and get better engagement. And also this person said if you are a content creator and looking to monetize your podcast, he said this is the place. When it was asked what he likes, he said it's an all-in-one podcast platform, cross-platform posting and feedback. It's a monetization of your podcast as well. It's a cross-platform comments and feedback management. He said when it was asked what it is like, he said nothing as small. He said every bit was relevant to the need of a podcaster. So this person finally said if you're a content creator and looking to monetize your podcast, this is the place. Now let's go to what I personally feel about Firstory. I would say Firstory, they've actually as a podcaster, they've actually got a great one. Firstory is reasonably easy to use and it's highly efficient for the production, hosting, monetization and promotion of your podcast, and as well offers unlimited storage and bandwidth. That is, you are not capped at all. This is the most important thing for me. I don't like being limited. So more so, you can easily share your content across all major podcast platforms within a click, and it's going to get you the best out of your effort by exponentially enhancing your content engagement, its visibility and its impact, and as such it's going to help you turn your business around. You'll be able to monetize your content, you'll be able to make more money from your business, you'll be able to get more influence, and you also be able to make more impact on your audience. And as such, it's also crowned by amazing customer support. Like I said, I love customer support so much, and they've also got a free test where they have a free but limited version that you can test out and see some of their features and abilities. So when you love, you can keep using them. If you don't, you can decide to discontinue. So there is no risk involved with Firstory. You're safe with them. I'll say again, Firstory is actually worth it because it serves the primary function of a meaningful podcast tool out there. So with what I've said, if you think Firstory is something you want to give a try, you want to test it out, you want to start your own podcast, promote it, scale it and monetize it, you can actually get started by clicking on the special link right in this video description. Once you click on that special link, you'll be able to get started with Firstory at a very unusual discounted price that you're not going to find elsewhere. That is to enjoy all of what Firstory has put in place for you. You're going to test them out and see what they can actually do for you. There's actually a special link right in this video description. Once you click on that special link, you'll be able to get started with Firstory at a very unusual discounted price that you're not going to find elsewhere. On that note, I want to say thanks for watching my Firstory review. If you found any value in this video, ensure to like and subscribe to this channel. And if you have any question as regards Firstory, you can make use of the comment box below to ask your questions. I'm going to look into it and see if something I can answer. Once again, do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel to keep enjoying similar videos like this on other helpful tools that can take your business to the next level. On that note, I want to say thanks for watching my Firstory review, and I hope to see your business at the top. Bye for now.